welcome back. I hope you're having an amazing day. Today I want to share how to simplify your life and the things that we did in our lives to make it much more simple. If you're new here, my name is Shannon and you can hit the subscribe button to join my channel. The easiest way we simplified our lives was to do more of what we love and less of what we don't really like to do. And it sounds really simple, but there are probably a lot of things that you do in your life, at least I was doing in my life, that could definitely be simplified. For instance, a lot of people say, well, I love shopping, so I'm gonna do more of that. But in all honesty, you have to ask yourself if you really, truly love shopping or if it's just a habit that you've gotten yourself into. I know I used to think of shopping as a fun event, and now that I've purposefully stopped shopping unless I really need something, I actually think of it as a major chore and I do not get any joy out of it anymore. So I guess my default before was to think of it as a hobby or something fun that I did, where in all actuality, it was very stressful and took up a lot of my time. One super simple way to get started with simplifying is just make a really long list of everything that you love and a list of everything that you don't like doing, maybe something that's considered a chore, and try to focus more on the items that you love and try to simplify the items that you don't like. So for instance, my list included art, painting, going for a walk, reading more, and so I've tried to make more time for those items and then was able to check off the items that I don't really like to do, or I was able to pick out things that, for instance, shopping, I actually think of that as a chore now, and so I was able to tick that off my list, and now I try to only go shopping once a week for groceries, and if possible every other week, and I try to only shop for the things I actually need. And I do that by making a list of the things I need and waiting until I have quite a few things on my list so I can get all those items at one time. I also simplified my home, and by that I mean I decluttered, I got rid of everything that I didn't need. I have a link down below with more information about that if you're interested, but I just simplified everything. I also simplified the amount of furniture we had because we had a lot of extra pieces that were more decorative, and then of course that held more decorations. So just simplifying everything will cut down on the amount of time you spend cleaning and tidying and dusting. And I also decided to put all the chores that I don't really like on one day. So for instance, I streamlined our laundry process by doing all of the laundry on one day. And of course, if I can't get it done on one day, it'll creep into the next day, but 2 days tops. And that way I can really focus on that and make sure that it's getting completely washed, dried, and put away. So that's one thing that I have streamlined. Before I was doing a little bit of laundry every day and it just felt like a task that was never ending. And this is why this simplifying process will be different for everybody, because as far as chores go, what I've done is I try to incorporate my chores into my daily life. So for instance, if I'm giving my kids a bath, I can quickly tidy up in the bathroom and clean places like the sink while I'm sitting there, kind of a multitasking situation, because I personally did not like to have to spend a whole day cleaning my house. So I do try to stick those little chores in with things that I'm already doing. Streamline your clothing. This is an excellent way to simplify. Just keep the things that you always wear each season. Of course, you're not going to use summer things in winter, but use common sense and just keep the things you wear. I noticed I had so many choices sitting there waiting for me when really I only wore the same clothes over and over again. So now I just focus on what I really love and actually wear. I've decluttered everything else, and now I only purchase items to replace the ones that I wear out. simplify what you do for work. So I know I am a stay-at-home mom, but I also have a blogging business on the side, and I also make websites for friends and family. So I have recently realized I was wasting a lot of time by not streamlining what I'm doing for work. And now what I do is I concentrate on the items that I call move the dial. So anything that really is moving my business in the right direction, I focus more on those and I let everything else go. So recently, I just quit using Instagram. I only upload things once a week there, and I was finding it was a major waste of my time because I would get very distracted and I would get sucked into that app. So I took it off my phone and now I'm only using it from my computer, and that has given me so much more time back to my life. Other ways to streamline your work if you are not a stay-at-home person is batch work, and also you can limit how many times, for instance, you check your email during the day. Nothing wastes more time than going on your phone every 5 minutes, every time you hear a ding, and checking it. It makes much more sense to just check all of it at one time. Obviously, if you're waiting for something important, you have to check it more often, but I'm just saying if you can batch work, it will save a lot of time and it will simplify your life. I love home decor just as much as the next person. A beautifully decorated home is amazing to me, but what I realized is tiny little pieces of decor for my life add clutter, and they also catch a lot of dust and just add more time to the cleaning. So I've gone through and just edited all the home decor and just left the things that make us enjoy our house, because I feel a house should be cozy and warm, but I've got rid of everything that was extra and completely unnecessary. One way I simplified my grocery list was to write out a list in my notes on my phone. So it's something that I can refer to week after week, because most of us are creatures of habit. We tend to eat the same meals and snacks week after week. So it's so easy to just have that pre-typed up list to refer to when I'm out grocery shopping, and then I'm not having to forget things, and I'm also not having to rewrite the list out every single time. Along with simplifying the grocery list, I've also simplified what I buy. I try to stick to the meals I know we love, and I don't get as creative. For one, that just was not something I really like to do, but also I found my family wouldn't eat it. So it's up to you. If that's something you love, you gotta focus on that, but if it's not, just let it go. As far as kids go, I have simplified everything to do with their lives. Less toys, less junk, less clothing, just keeping the things they love to wear. And that has given me so much time, and it's made it easier for them to tidy their rooms and keep track of all their stuff. Also, I allow my kids to get bored. I know that's kind of weird nowadays, but when I see them getting bored, they usually get more creative. And one thing that they did the other day was they took all of our recycle things that were meant for the recycling bin, and they stacked them up and they kept knocking them down, and that kept them entertained for over 2 hours. And then the next day they played with it again. I feel like when they get bored, that's when they get creative. So we have very little time spent on the iPad, and just recently I've severely limited the amount of TV because during summer it got a little bit away from us since we were quarantined this whole summer. A few other things I've done recently is I've unplugged more. So like I said, I'm not on Instagram on my phone anymore. I also took Facebook off my phone, and I don't have YouTube on my phone. I just find it's okay for me to watch those things because I do enjoy them, but I try to be intentional when I do want to spend time on that. So I have to go to my computer or my tablet. My phone I usually have with me when I'm out on walks and doing different things for safety reasons. So I don't want to have the temptation to be on those apps. So I've just been unplugging more and enjoying more quality time with my family. Another way to simplify is to try not to multitask too much. The only time I usually multitask is, like I mentioned before, if I'm cleaning something in a room that I have to be in because maybe my kids are playing or they're in the bath, something like that. I might do a simple chore along at the same time. But other than that, I try not to multitask because what I've found is that I tend to start quite a few things at once and then nothing actually gets done, or maybe there's two things that get done and it takes twice as long because I'm bouncing back and forth instead of just focusing on getting the one done. So that's another way to simplify, is just put your complete focus on one task and get it done. As far as money goes, I've simplified that by budgeting what we spend our money on, making sure that we're always saving for the future. And I've also set up direct payments through my bank, so I'm not having to get a bunch of mail and possibly lose the bills and things that would come in the mail. I just get a notice through my email and it's already set up to pay, so I'm not going to be forgetting bills and having them late. So that's just one more way to simplify. I kind of take myself out of the equation and just make sure everything is the right amount, but I don't have to worry that it's possibly not going to get paid on time. Most importantly is make sure you schedule some downtime for yourself. It's so easy to just schedule all the things that need to get done and to be super busy, but I think scheduling downtime has been the best thing that I've done. I make sure that I stop whatever I'm doing at night early enough so I can relax and read a book before bed and calm down. It's easier to fall asleep. I've also stopped sweating the small stuff. So for instance, if a dish breaks, now I just say, oh well, no big deal. Before I would get annoyed or mad that something now is broken that we don't have anymore. And those are natural feelings, but I've started to realize that in the long run, it just really does not matter. And I've gotten to the point now where, I'm not kidding, a dish will break and I'll just go, we can always get another one. So I'm not sweating those small little things anymore. If you're new here, make sure you hit the subscribe button to join my channel. Thank you so much for joining me today, and I'll see you next time. Bye. You can find this full blog post written over on shannontorrens.com and linked below.